How you doing? Come on in. It's Kirsten Liebelt. It's Wednesday. It's so good to see you guys every day from Monday through Friday at 11 a.m. Central Standard Time. We go live and we talk about insulin resistance. And today we're going to talk about insulin belly versus cortisol belly. This is, you guys, I always tell you, you create my content. You actually create my content. So based on what happens when people are asking me, like you're in my DMs and you're asking me a ton of questions, etc. That's how I view everything, and decide on what kind of content I want to be able to like bring it to you. So hold on, I'm trying to figure out if I can do something here on Instagram, and I don't know that I can. So I think I'm going to have to maybe just do it for another day. I thought I could figure out how to have you guys drop a word on Instagram and it would give you information, but I don't think I can. So I'm not going to worry about it. So how are you doing today? How is your midweek, your midweek recalibration, your assessment of how things are going for you? I would love to know. You know, oftentimes we don't even take time to celebrate our wins. We don't even take time to like recognize the things that we're doing right, etc. And so I want to make sure that you don't miss out on doing that, because otherwise you're constantly to that negative feeling of kind of beating yourself up a little bit. So we don't want to do that, right? We're not going to do that. But I do want to jump in today and I want to talk about this because I feel like this is something that is super helpful for women who are like, I don't understand the whole belly conversation. Like, how does this even happen? And what is the difference between an insulin belly and a cortisol belly and all of these things? But most importantly, it's kind of like, how the heck do I get rid of it? How do I change the way that my body is kind of protruding in different areas, because it's hard to buy clothes. So buying one size because you're trying to fit over your waist, but then maybe your butt and your like legs are not fitting proper, etc. Like, I know you know what I'm talking about. I know you do, because I'm not alone. I'm not alone. I know that for sure. Patty, good morning. Good to see you. So good to see you. So let's dive right in. Oh, you guys, the orange pixie stick back in stock. Back in stock. So last night it was really funny because I was up, it was end of month. So I was up doing a bunch of stuff, and I saw, as like it turned midnight to October 1st, I saw all of these orders go through that were all the back orders being filled for the orange pixie stick. That's the fat burner that targets your visceral fat. And I'm telling you, it was funny. I'm like, look, showing my husband, I'm like, this is hilarious. Look at this. Boom, 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 boom. Them was for me. So, what do you think's coming to my house? I also was up, and I'm like, oh, you know, I should have stocked up, and I didn't. But then I did last night, because I just did. I ordered many boxes last night when it came available. So I don't know if that's something that you care about. It's never gone out of stock before, so I'm not giving you any sort of like urgency or alert on that. That's never happened before. The glucose product, on the other hand, stock up, baby. Very popular, goes out of stock sometimes. Okay. So if you've ever thought, you know, you eat healthy and your belly just won't go away, like you can seem to lose weight, like in your thighs, you can lose weight. Like, look at my hair sticking up. I'm sorry to be so distracted, but I don't know what's going on with my hair today. This is kind of funny. I'm just going to leave it. That's really funny. I'm like looking at myself thinking that's really bizarre. But you know, you wake up with a flat belly, but then by bedtime, you look like you're 5 months pregnant again. And you're like, I just don't understand why this belly, this bloat, this like frustration is my life. Like, how did I get here? Right. Then this episode today is for you. So stick around for just a minute. Okay. And then this is what we're going to chat about. But not all belly fat is the same. Did you know that? Like, there's different kinds of belly fat. And so you can address them differently to get a better result. Like, what if that was a thing? Wouldn't that feel kind of good? There is something that it's called like insulin. It's something that I would call personally like insulin valley. And then something that is like cortisol belly. So there's a difference, insulin valley and cortisol belly. Okay. And they show up differently in women's bodies. So in your lower belly, go way down low. Okay. Way down low. and it's usually your belly, and it's deep inside around the organs, and that's where your visceral fat is. And so there's this insulin valley, like way down low, right? High insulin is keeping fat in storage mode. So it's constantly storing fat. And unfortunately, that visceral fat, which is what we talk about a lot. And don't forget now, when we have solutions, like live on the testimonies of other people. Don't take my word for stuff, right? Like somebody's fatty liver on an MRI went from bad to mild. Like this is real stuff. People's visceral fat scans changing. So just like get your hopes up, be encouraged, right? So high insulin is keeping fat locked in storage, even if your blood sugars look normal. So this is what confuses us. We're kind of looking at those labs and we're looking at the blood sugars and we're like, but they tell me my sugars are fine. But that is not the proper gauge when we're dealing with insulin resistance, because your insulin can still be way too high. So maybe you lose weight everywhere, but your belly, so frustrating. So frustrating. Maybe your pants dig in around the lower waistline no matter what. Maybe you've cut calories and you're even exercising, but it barely moves. And you're like, are you serious right now, Clark? Like, what is happening? And you know what? Maybe it feels dense, stubborn, and hard to budge. That's how that fat feels, way, way down low. Okay. Now, cortisol belly, this is the opposite. So that was insulin valley, kind of like the valley of your belly. Okay. Now let's talk about cortisol belly. This is more upper mid belly. Okay. So you can identify which one is you. Maybe you have both. So maybe you need to address both. I think a lot of people have both. I do. I think a lot of people have both. I always talk about how insulin and cortisol are like sister hormones. They're like sisters. Da, 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 da. I don't know that song, but you know what I mean. And that's how that feels. And so like they're both playing off each other, but this is how it all comes back to, and we'll talk about this in a half a minute, the liver. Okay. Let's move on so I don't get ahead of myself. But under your rib cage, like your high belly under your rib cage, and why it happens, because your cortisol spikes and your blood sugar rises and insulin comes to clean it up. All right. But then it adds that you get slow digestion. Your belly looks all swollen up here, right under your rib cage. And you're like, what is going on? So maybe that's when you're waking up flat, but by evening you're distended again. And you're like, I can't do this anymore. Like, this is frustrating, right? So stress, lack of sleep, running on caffeine makes it all worse. Just makes it all worse. And you feel tight, hard, and bloated, and kind of like a inflated balloon, but it kind of fluctuates during the day. So tell me if that's you. I'd love to know if that's something that is like you. Lynn says, yay. Jody, good morning. Good afternoon, Anna. Beautiful Anna. Good to see you. You guys are awesome. Okay. I have to find my notes. Hold on. Okay. So this isn't just about like doing crunches, like, we're doing ab crunches like this, it's not just about willpower. And we talked about that a lot the last 2 days when we were talking about, you guys can always go watch the replays like on YouTube, or on Instagram, Facebook will have them up for 30 days, but it's not about willpower. It's a biological conversation in your body because it's hormonal and it's cellular, and cortisol is a hormone and insulin is a hormone. And if you can't regulate your hormones, this is just the fallout of that. And so this is not like HRT hormone necessary conversation. That's a different conversation. This is insulin and cortisol, and we're going to deal with your insulin. We're going to deal with your sleep. We're going to deal with your stress. We're going to do all of those things so that we can get your body to actually produce a different result for you. Like, you're positioning your body to deliver a result that you're looking for. Maybe it's getting rid of your belly fat. Maybe it's losing inches, losing sizes, getting off of meds. That's this conversation inside of insulin resistance. Okay. So, it's about your hormones telling your body what to store and where to store it. That's why you can eat less. I know y'all doing this. Do more cardio and you still feel stuck. That's why, right? So most women that I talk to are battling both. They're battling insulin stacking fat in the lower belly, like insulin is literally like piling it up way down below, right? And cortisol is blowing up the midsection. And usually it's both. And so that's why you guys, every time you guys about like, food and then targeted supplementation, it's all freaking connected. I know that I'm a little bit of a broken record because we're just going to talk about the same thing over and over and over again so that your body can actually take a path that's going to bring healing to your body. And you can actually give yourself permission to do this journey. Like this is a really big deal, right? So practical things that you can do. I always talk about protein first. Now, I can't emphasize this enough. Like if you want longevity, if you want stable blood sugars, if you want to feel full, like you never have that feeling of feeling full, you're like, I'm just so hungry all the time. And I never seem to fill up. And then I feel bad. And then I'm kind of mad at myself that I feel full. And it's just this cycle. And maybe you just keep eating and you do start to feel full, but you're just not satiated. Like you just have this nagging, now I need something sweet. And then, now I need something salty. And then, and you're just kind of like, you're never satiated. I cannot overemphasize the conversation of protein enough. It's literally why I put together a free protein blueprint for you guys, because if you can understand proper kinds of the protein, then you can stabilize a bunch of stuff and go on with your life and feel so much better about what you are accomplishing. So I talk a lot about like my breakfast and stuff because I'll get up and I really do like chicken sausage because it's not so high in fat like breakfast sausage would be if it was pork. And so the calories aren't so bad. And again, not everything is about calories and not everything is about scale. Those are little tiny like tools that we use. There are so many other factors, but I digress. So if you go to Costco, Amy Lou has a really good chicken sausage. I like the one that they do that's andouille. Aldi's has a really good chicken sausage. Their brand is Never Any. I like their mild Italian. Walmart has a good chicken sausage. It's called Gilbert's. And they have one. Oh, let's see now. What was that one? I think they have a smoked Gouda that I like from Gilbert's. So any one of those. So I might have like 3 eggs and then like a chicken sausage that has 13 or 14 grams of protein. I'll have, I have 000. In fact, I have it right here. 000. I just finished this Oikos yogurt. It's sweetened with stevia. I really like it. Generally, I don't choose fat-free dairy. It's not a part of my wheelhouse. Usually fat-free dairy is higher in sugar. This just happens to be one convenience thing. So by the time I'm done with my breakfast, like I have had 45 grams of protein, but none of that protein is like spiking my sugars and calling on insulin. I mean, very little, like just a little bit. As opposed to you get up and you have a bowl of cereal, even if you don't put sugar on it, and you put skim milk on it, or you have a bagel and cream cheese, or you have a scone, or you have a sugared coffee, or whatever it is that you're doing. And you're thinking, I don't know how to not eat my freaking oatmeal in the morning and my overnight oats. Stop the insanity. That's why I teach grain, sugar, and legume free, because that's only going to spike your sugars. You're going to be so hungry very quickly. And you are also going to be like calling on insulin. And what is insulin doing? It's storing fat. It's laying down fat, visceral fat. So now high insulin, lower belly fat, Now maybe you're stressed and you're not sleeping well at night. And maybe the food that you're eating is giving you like, you're spiking and then you're crashing and then you're spiking and then you're feeling like a little bit of anxiety or now that's spiking in the middle of the night and it's keeping you up at night and now you're not sleeping and like it's just round and round and round she goes. Where she stops, nobody knows. Like it's just this whole cycle. And now you've got the upper belly fat, that cortisol belly. It's right under your rib cage and it's like it's hard. And you wake up and you're looking in the mirror and you're like, oh, well, I'm doing pretty good today. And then like by dinner time or nighttime, you look like you're pregnant. You look like you're distended. So both insulin, cortisol, hormones, and we can do so much with food. Next week in the group, Ditch Insulin Resistance for Women, we'll do another 5-day challenge, the 29th one. And I will go through food ingredient trade outs and my thought process as an Italian person, trading out my foods and how I'm still a foodie and love foods that I eat. But I'm going to teach always the proper kind of protein, the proper amount of protein, and what it can do for your life. What it can do for your life. I'm just telling you, like, it can do so, so much. Hold on. I have a feeling somebody's talking to me. Who's talking to me? So Deborah says lower belly never goes away. I know it will though. And I'm not trying to be the bearer of bad news. My own experience is that it's not the first to go. Because you're on a healing journey and you have to deal with that visceral fat. Good afternoon, Shirley girl. Good to see you. Mandy, good to see you. Magda, oh my gosh, you guys, you're all here. This is so fun. Shirley says I was breaking up on Facebook, so she moved and she's on YouTube now. Very good, Shirley. I wonder why. I was having trouble yesterday too. Oh, good morning, Terry. She says time got away from her. I have no idea what you're talking about as I was running around this morning. I stayed up late. Like I was saying, it was the end of the month. And so we were wrapping up a really big month and it was very exciting. But I went to bed late and I woke. And so I allowed myself to not get up and walk and la. And I just got up and I'm just like, I got to get on my game. I got to figure this out. So I understand, Terry. No big deal. No big deal, people. Point. It's good. All right. So those things. So I'm always going to teach the food aspect of it because it's so important. But then I'm also going to teach the targeted supplementation. And I was trying to figure out how I could get it so that Instagram could drop a word and you would get information. I'm testing some like it's not an app, software, testing some software, but I can't get it to figure out yet. So I will have to work on that because doggone it. I was like, man, I really wanted that to work for you guys. And I just don't, I'm going to try it one more time and see if I can figure this out. I just don't think that I can. Because it's only showing me my reels, not my lives. I will do diligence and I will figure it out. And then we'll work on that. But in the meantime, when I'm talking about like targeted supplementation, and again, I'm so excited that the orange pixie stick is back in stock. And it's just because, you know, we always would, you know, when we grew up, we would watch the Jetsons and we would see them be in the future. And we would be like, oh my gosh, isn't that cool automation? Like, you know, you press a button and the thing comes down and it opens up and you've got food and it's already been made for you. Or you car comes to you and you get in and you fly off into space or whatever. And it was all about convenience. And it was all about imagining a world that was very far from existence in our brains. I have a point to this, by the way, so just keep tracking. And, you know, I think we always wish that there were things that would make life a lot more simple because maybe science would have finally caught up. And that's kind of how I feel about the orange pixie stick. And I'll tell you why, because and I'm kind of going backwards in my conversation, but it's just because it's finally back in stock. And so this was actually developed for a sports nutrition line, and that's how I sourced it. And when something says that it can actually target visceral fat and change your BMI, that sounds a little fantasy, doesn't it? It kind of sounds like that's a little hokey, like that's not really true. You're over marketing yourself. But you guys have given me the goods. You guys have given me the testimonies. So we collectively now as a community have these tests. So when Magda had her MRI go from a bad fatty liver to a mild fatty liver, that's a clear testimony. When somebody tells me that their visceral body fat scan went from high visceral fat and it dropped into normal ranges, that's an actual like factual conversation. So there's no like jazz hands on that. So having this out of stock, I know is frustrating for people. And most of the reason why is because you know the inches that you're losing. So here, I'll hold my shirt here. So when you can lose, and Magda did this over the course of a year, but I have so many, Terry on here has testimonies. Somebody just gave me a testimony, Patty, over the last 3 months, she lost 8 inches all over. Megda's was like 11, 12, 13, 14 inches all over in a year. Terry, I don't remember your inches off the top of my head. It doesn't matter. But I'm talking about like, because you're targeting that visceral fat. So remember, we're talking about cortisol belly being right up here underneath. You can't see me on Facebook, I know, but just pretend I'm right underneath my rib cage, right under your rib cage. And that is your cortisol belly. Go down a little bit further. And then you've got that is collectively your trunk, from underneath your bra, down your waist and down your hips. And so what if, wow, I just like, that was my iPad cover. What if you started to measure yourself? Here, I've got my measuring thing right here. And over the course of time, you realized that you were shrinking in inches. How does that make you feel about maybe the outfit that you're going to wear during Christmas, or the family photos that you're going to take over the holidays, or etc., right? It changes the way that we walk with confidence. It changes the way that we feel. But way even more than that, what I'm concerned with for you is that if you can actually deal with your visceral belly fat, like, OMG, what a gift you give yourself. So this was on back order. It's powder. You put it on your tongue once a day. It tastes like orange pixie stick, just like when you were a kid. Super, super yummy. Not sort of tastes like candy, actually tastes like candy. And I always tell people, do 90 days on and 30 days off. That is the orange pixie stick. Now, this is inside of the total body reset. I'm going backwards. Watch me shake it up. You just watch me. So that's the orange pixie stick. The next section, the next like pillar, would be the gut primer and the probiotic. Okay. Primer, not just a greens product. Primer, like a daily gastrointestinal primer that supports the healing and the sealing of your gut. So you don't have a gallbladder, you have indigestion, you have constipation, you have diarrhea, you have leaky gut, you are bloated all the time, you have brain fog, you're exhausted, you're not sleeping, you kind of deal maybe with a little bit of sadness. And so your serotonin isn't, because your gut, brain, gut, mood, gut, everything, literally. So that's what this is. This is a green powder that I put in cold water, a scoop of it, green tea, turmeric-y, gingery, not chocolate, not ice cream flavor, sorry. Fresh, everything off of organic farms. So there's nothing artificial to cover anything up. It's just very fresh, okay? And I just take that like a wellness shot in the morning. Hold on, I'm going to put this on. I know it's making noise. All right. So I take it like a wellness shot. Probiotic, you have to recalibrate you have to repopulate your microbiome. Please, that's a piece of it, okay? So total body reset, the first 3 products, they're all powders. Notice that, because there are some people who don't like a lot of pills. So powder and water, powder on your tongue, powder on your tongue. Okay. The last 3 are the pills. This is a capsule. I have to be careful on TikTok. These are the capsules 3 times a day. And these 2 are tablets. Why do you care about any of these 3? These are the 3 I started with, 3 supplements that have 3 ingredients that help with insulin sensitivity. Fully supported me. I didn't have those other 3. Fully supported me in losing 3 sizes in my 50s. But why? Don't you want to know why? Because what you may not know is that if your insulin is high, and if you're on my content, I'm just saying, if your insulin is high, your fat burning switch turn off. Off. Insulin, sugars. If your liver is sluggish, fat burning switch turned off. So insulin, sugars, liver, metabolism, all right there. Liver, 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 liver. Notice how much liver. 3 of the 6 help your liver. 3 of the 6. What does your liver do? We were just talking about cortisol and insulin. Your liver regulates your hormones. Okay, so just track with me to the end of the paragraph. Your liver regulates your hormones. Insulin is a hormone. Cortisol is a hormone. We want that regulation. Your liver helps to balance out your blood glucose. Your liver helps to dump excess cortisol, like get rid of it. So who was raising their hand for cortisol belly? Way up here, cortisol belly. You wake up flat and then you're like pregnant by 5, 6 o'clock. Okay. So you want all that cortisol to get dumped. Maybe way down below, you've got that insulin belly going on and you're like, oh. And this is visceral fat conversation, you guys. That's the most important part of this whole thing is it's the dangerous fat. So if I were only talking to you about fat on your arms and how frustrating that is, and you should go to the gym and use resistant bands, I'm making this up because I don't even know these answers. And you should go to the gym and you should like do push-ups and you should do whatever, yada yadas and dumbbells and those, all the things, because we're talking about your arm fat. This is not dangerous fat. This isn't dangerous. This is just annoying. This just makes you buy a sleeved dress and not a sleeveless dress. Ask me how I know. I'm just telling you, like, that's not dangerous. But the fat underneath your belly up here under your rib cage and the belly down below, that is dangerous fat. It is actually active fat. It is actually emitting hormones and it's emitting inflammation. And this is how we end up with bad things over time. And like I go back to, back in the 80s and the 90s, we could have only ever dreamed that we would have something that actually tasted like candy that we could put on our tongue and that we would see by a lab result, a change in visceral fat. Like that's crazy pants. It's a little Jetsons. I'm just saying, that's how I feel. Because I literally was looking for the pill. So this is the total body reset, by the way, all 6 of these. This is the total body reset for people who want to know. But I wanted the pill. That's why I was buying Metabolife at Walmart in my 30s. I'm 60 now, by the way. That's why I was buying Metabolife. It got banned because it was a dangerous product. Probably not a lot of scientists on that one. But my point being, I wanted the pill. Didn't you want a pill? Didn't you want like something that would actually like you thought maybe it was going to be something that would help your body function and it really was just a Band-Aid? Because Metabolife, what that was doing was that was ephedra. So it was cutting your appetite and just speeding up your heart rate. So it was like speed. It was like legal speed is really what it was, right? So that's what I would consider a Band-Aid. Like I don't need my body to like literally speed up, heart rate speed up. I don't need that. But what I do need and what I do talk to you about is get your liver to function, get your gut to get healed and sealed, bring your insulin down, like inside job, get the inside job done. Mandy says you have fatty liver, you have NASH. Yes. Most everybody who is insulin resistant does. Because that's what happens. You have both, Jody says. Please repeat the on-off schedule for the Ignite powder. Yes, Shirley girl. 90 days on, once a day on your tongue, 90 days on, 30 days off. And Meg does MRI that went from a bad fatty liver to a mild fatty liver. She was doing the total body reset. I mean, I haven't looked at her account to know if it was literally like, I'm trying not to be too literal, but like she was doing the total body reset and being mindful of her food for a year. But she also had her A1C go down. She also lost, it was 6, 5, and 3. So 11, 14 inches total right in here, right in her trunk. She also, what else was there? I thought there was something else in her story. She had a lot of good stuff going on. So 90 days on, 30 days off. That's what that was. And I know I missed stuff. So hold on. Okay. I know I'm missing stuff. So hold on just a second. I'm going to look for some comments here. Okay. So where Blun's Blunsford5. Where do I read about this and buy it? So you can do a couple of different things. I was going to try to hook up Instagram. I'm going to do a beta test so that you guys literally are going to be able to drop a word on Instagram when I'm live, and you're going to be able to have something sent to you right away. But I couldn't figure out how to set it up this morning. So I'll try for tomorrow. But because when this live goes away, so does your comments. So for right now, then, on all of my platforms, I do have my site. Okay. And I'm going to show you what my site looks like. It's my first last name.com. If you're on Facebook and YouTube, it's super easy for you because it's literally right here. It's right there on the screen for you. So it's very, very simple. Okay. Then when you go there, Kirsten Liebelt, KirstenLiebelt, those.com. This is what you'll see. You'll see my picture. And underneath here, you're going to see everything that I literally just talked to you about. Remember, I said there are 6 pieces to this. 6. Can you see the little ones up on top? 6 pieces. Different configurations of those 6. First 4 buttons, just like that. Okay. That's how simple that is. Then, so like for instance, the total body reset is right there on the last one. This is just the gut primer and the probiotic. This is the liver reset stack, which is the orange pixie stick, the gut primer, and the little yellow liver pill. And then this one is the trio, what I started with, the 3 that have the 3 ingredients for insulin sensitivity. Before and after picture, because I lost 3 sizes in my 50s, but the bigger piece of that conversation is that I kept it off. You have to understand, once you get the key, once you get the understanding, you don't live in confusion anymore. You can shut out like all that dumb noise because you understand how you're eating and why you're eating the way you are. And you are literally only focusing on the parts of your body that need to function to deliver you. Then underneath that picture, you'll see right there are some free resources for you. And then if you need help with sleep or Amazon favorites, etc., and all of my contact information is right down there for you. So you can go directly to my website, Blunsford5 if you want to, or you can go to my Instagram profile and my site is there also. You can also, everybody, in fact, I have had a little bit of a deluge of messages in the last 24 hours. I don't know if it's just because we're entering October maybe. So I am a titch behind, but I promise you, I will, if you message me, if I didn't answer you, again and boost it, right? Like get it up to the top of my DMs. However, you can, like, don't make that stop you, right? Just have a little bit of tenacity. DM in Instagram. You can message me on TikTok, and I can even give you a voice message now on TikTok. On my site at the very bottom, like I was saying, like you can text me. There's a number down there for you to text me. Like I'm trying to make it as easy as possible for you to reach out and ask questions because I know that a confused mind won't do anything. I'm aware that we feel overwhelmed already because maybe we already have brain fog. And maybe we're already exhausted. So I'm really sensitive to that for you guys to understand that you're just trying to like function enough to get your questions answered. And that's okay. And I will work with you the best that I can. Okay. So Deborah says, you're welcome. Shirley, by the way, Deborah says, I know I need help for my liver. So I started with the liver reset. So she started with the 3 instead of the 6, the liver reset stack. Okay. All right. What is in it in the orange that makes it work? It is a clinical dose of an extract. And this is what's really interesting. I'm glad that you asked that question. It's a very specific extract. It actually comes from Italy, to be really honest. It's sourced out of Italy, Sicily, I believe. And this is the thing. When you have companies that are willing to put in the scientific process, I mean, we maybe don't appreciate a scientific process like, we're like, whatever, isn't everything created equal, whatever. No, they actually, where a lot of companies, see, I just got flagged on TikTok. I don't know. Oh, because maybe I talked about my site. I don't know. Anyway, having a scientific process, like where maybe one company would potentially, they would test something maybe for 30 days or 60 days, or they would have a really small sampling. They tested this for over a year straight before they ever released it. And I mean, they got massive data. And so I shouldn't be so surprised, to be really honest, that because of that, the results are showing up so strongly. So I hope that answers that. So I just answered that. Where do you get it? You can go to my site. It is not just for women. No. None of this is just for women. Y'all are mostly women because you're my demographic. And I know how to speak to the journey of the female, just because obviously that's been my journey in my 50s, but it is not just for women. In fact, like I said, I grabbed this one out of the sports nutrition line. So this is definitely, we're going to do like an in-person. If you are in Minnesota, I am doing a wellness clinic here in October in person. And my husband is actually going to talk about protein and longevity, and he is also very into the sports nutrition aspect, so that, we can age with strength, etc. So not just for women at all. You got it. You're spelling it wrong. I get that. Mandy, I'm glad you got it. That's so funny. I know, me too. But I do put it right there on my screen just so that people can see that. And let me see here. What else? I feel like I've answered. Oh, good morning, Marilyn. The body changes, especially the belly fat, has varied so much. Ugh. Doing the total body, I'm so excited to see the results. I'm excited for you, Marilyn. I'm so excited. Let me see if I missed anything else. Oh. Okay, so Mandy, you found the. Okay, I see, because I missed your first question. Okay, you got it. You're on it, Mandy. You're on it. Just please do me a favor, though. Anybody, I hope you're still on here, Mandy. Make sure that you register with your name for your free account. Don't check out as a guest, because when you do that and you go and you purchase something, like, you might miss out on the customer campaign. Last night I was sending out texts to people because it was the last day of. So why does that matter to you as a customer? Well, if you're a registered customer and you purchase 150 or more 3 months in a row, on that third month, you're going to get $75 off. And I can't name one person in my sphere of influence that does not want $75 off of an order. Like, I just don't know anybody. So I don't want you to miss out on the $139 and you're going to get free shipping. Like, you won't get that if you check out as a guest. And so I want you to have I just want you to have information, just the pieces of information, so that you can move forward with the best benefits. That's what we do around here. So anyway, so on Monday, we're going to do the group is called Ditch Insulin Resistance for Women. And we're going to start our 5-day challenge. It's our 29th one. And that's where I'm able to help you guys go through food ingredient trade outs. And we talk about my pantry, my refrigerator. We do a recipe. We do all the things. And it's very, very beneficial for that reason. I do go into more depth with the supplementation because I can. So I know that I give always a brief overview here. But then I stay connected to those who connect with me, and I walk journey with you. So you do get me in that. You get me in that process. But then the challenge is meant to help you understand on another level those pieces of food, and to have deeper understanding of things that you're taking now. Like she was saying, she's on the total body reset. Deborah's on liver reset. Those things I want to be able to help you. I'm just so convinced. I'm so convinced that if you understand why it's doing what it's doing, you will stick with the process longer. And how do I know this is happening? Magda gives me a result after a year. Because because Terry just told me she's on her third round of getting her $75 off. So people are choosing journey. People are choosing consistency. And we are no longer thinking that we are back in high school and we can drop 10 pounds by Saturday. We no longer are expecting our bodies to like perform for us when we've just driven them like a rental car. We no longer require results without action. That's not what we're doing. So give yourself permission for a journey and have a grace mentality for yourself. Have a like a permission mentality, because we're talking about healing. We're talking about turning back around, and your ship might be bigger than somebody else's ship, and it's okay. You don't have to have comparisonitis, and you don't have to have shame about it. And then you can move forward with confidence, because do you think I will be here? Well, let's just go on history, okay? We've been doing this show Monday through Friday since a year ago, February. Okay? We've been doing the Facebook group longer than that. So the Facebook group is now, we're going into our 29th challenge. That's over 2.5 years. 2.5, not quite, almost. 24, almost. Like in October, that'll be 2.5 years. So yeah, there's longevity to this whole thought process, and I haven't gone anywhere, right? So I'll still walk journey with you, because the journey is going to be more than 2 minutes. I hope you recognize that, and I hope you give yourself permission, but only you can do that. I can't do it for you. And I always just want to remind people, it took me 3 to 4 years to trade out my foods. I was very slow by myself. I didn't have anybody to do it with me. Okay. And I also was like, I was just rewarding myself a lot. That's all I'm going to say. I get into that at other times, but I will be back here at 11 a.m. tomorrow morning. I will be in the group Monday at 3 p.m. Central Standard Time, and we'll do that Monday through Friday next week. If you want to get in, you have to give your email to get in. It's the only way I can connect with people. But having said that, if you do have questions, I am going to jump off and I'm going to go answer as many questions as I can. Today's kind of my catch-up day. It's the beginning of the month. I'm going to clean up from the end of the month now, all of the questions that I've been getting. And hopefully I can help you navigate your journey a little bit better today. And you can feel like you actually have a plan, a path, a direction. Maybe you'll just feel like you have some hope in your heart to believe that you finally can have something work for you, because you have the inherent understanding of why it's working for you. So I hope so. Anyway, let's see if oh, wow. Did I miss stuff? It wasn't moving for me. Oh man. Billy, you're okay. You were picking green beans. Good for you. She says, yes, I am exhausted. I'm sorry. I know, but it will get better. I promise. Let's see. I feel like, okay, I am to the end of that. Okay. All right. Is everybody good? Okay. I wish I would stop getting violations on Tickety Talk. Dang it. I got to figure that out. Okay. Love you guys so much. Have such a good day. I'll see you back again tomorrow. Bye.